So let me give you my life testimony. About a little over a year ago, last September, I was tired of my life. Went to a national park because I was ready to either hear from God or die of starvation. It was remarkable what happened. The first thing that happened was I found His love. It was like the warmth in the pit of my belly. And then it trickled out throughout my extremities, standing my hair on my arms on top with goosebumps and all. It was His love, the love of the Holy Spirit. Second thing He did was reveal to me everything that I had ever went through, been taught, every person I had ever encountered, all coming together at the end to glorify Him. That He had His hands on me the entire time and I didn't even know it. I found myself from Fort Lauderdale to South Beach, telling people that America was crumbling as we knew it, and that the first beast was about to be wounded at the head. I also told people how we were immortal creatures stuck in immortality because of a mentality given to us by our carnality, our flesh, and society. And we had to break free. That everything that we had ever been taught was a lie. You have to believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. So, I didn't have any biblical basis at that time. I was telling people believing in the impossible brings possibility, and that we have to believe in ourselves. That we are capable of anything we put our mind to, literally. Even to the point of flying. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I had about 30 people in front of me in Dania Beach when I got arrested for driving while license suspended. I was standing on the sand with my socks and my shoes off. I didn't even have a car. 9 o'clock that same morning, I still hadn't slept. I was praying to God, and the news gets turned on and Congress shut down. When Congress shut down, America stopped doing their job. Our Second Amendment rights states against foreign, domestic, or your government if they stop doing their job. We're talking about the rights to bear arms. So at that point, we had the right to overtake and didn't. America was wounded at the head. For what? Obama came out and talked about healthcare, and solely the healthcare. Now, history always repeats itself. Rome in 94, Greece in 96, when currency meant absolutely nothing. If you look at ancient Greece and ancient Rome, they fell right after each other, and then afterwards, ancient China. We're owned by China. We're the next ones to fall. When our currency within a 24-hour period means absolutely nothing, it's about to happen here in America. We need to wake up and smell the coffee. How do we stop such a thing to happen? We all have to come together as one. For one times any number is that number. Does it also mean it's one? It is important that we realize the necessity of coming together as one, preparing as one, so that mass murder doesn't have to happen. So it would only take the next person to come to power, like in Revelations 13, where it says the second beast worships the first beast, the same one that was wounded at the head, and then implements the mark of the beast. So when currency means absolutely nothing, the next person in power say, oh, it's because of Obama that America doesn't go sour, and implement this healthcare and double it up as our currency. Online currency weighs more than the dollar bill. Online currency weighs more than the dollar bill. That being said, this mark, I just so happen to be talking about in middle school. It goes in your right hand, your forehead. It's your passport, healthcare, GPS, and currency. Passport, 9 digits. Social, 9 digits. Zip code, not 5, 9 digits. 999 inverted is 666. Revelations 13, 16 through 18. Causing all rich and poor, free and slaves to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, that they not be able to buy or sell lest they receive this mark. Let ye who have wisdom know that this is the number of a man, which is the number of a beast. His number is 66. It's all right there. It also talks about in Revelations 14 about how an angel brings to light the everlasting gospel. The way I see it, it's immortality. And I have it. Wherever the brain goes, the body follows. If I were to pull your head, your whole body would go with it. If I were to pull your feet, your head would go backwards. That being said, could the answer to life be in our brain? And we don't even know it. Yeah, it is. Your brain is electromagnetic waves sending and receiving constantly positive and negative energies. Electricity is calculated through multiplication. So people are in one of three categories. Positive times positive equaling positive, negative times negative equaling positive, and positive times negative equaling negative. I'll break it down for you. Positive times negative equaling negative. It's like yin yang. Eat this fruit, you will not die, lest your eyes become open, having the knowledge of good and evil. Who said knowledge was good in the first place? When they ate of the fruit, they realized they were naked. Catch 2020. Now you gotta put on clothes. Anyways, so yin yang is a false doctrine derived from the devil. Then you have negative times negative equaling positive. We should look through history and see this. Albert Einstein, great man, couldn't tie his shoes, couldn't change his clothes, schizophrenic, antisocial, tried to pluck out his eye, couldn't even turn on a light switch. Yet created a formula for a bomb. Destruction. The only person that could have used that bomb for their own well-being and got a positive outcome for it would have been another negative. Now this is key. There was only one time that the man Jesus, or God himself, however you want to say it, was angry. It was when he walked into his temple. And he sees people casting lots. It looked like that of a flea market. He goes inside. He probably didn't even have to touch the tables. This is Jesus we're talking about. Now with anger comes a tone of voice, a time to cool down, a demeanor, an action. So he goes to leave and they ask him a question. Shall we pay taxes to Caesar? Who's on the face of the corn? Caesar. Give Caesar what is Caesar's. He didn't want anything to do with it at all. Abraham Lincoln knew about this too. He wrote to us a letter to the Baptist churches about a certain separation of church and state. When in all actuality, what he really wanted us to do was branch off and become our own. Just like in 2 Corinthians of the 6th chapter where it talks about branching off and not looking like the world. That's what we need to do. How do we do that? Well, just like the Native Americans have their own land, us Christians should get the same. Especially if you're going to do it. We're not going to violate your free will. You can go ahead and have your mark of the beast. That's fine. Have your hell. But this is our land too. This country was based off of Roman Catholicism, off of Christianity, so that they could worship freely. And if they're not allowing us to do that, that's a violation of our rights. Let's do something so that we can keep our rights. Let's band together. Come together as one. Once again. Bringing everything to the storehouse like it says in the book of Acts. Our words have power, and that's what we'll fight this battle with, is our words. We have to tame our tongue. In the book of Acts of the 5th chapter, it talks about a couple that only sells a part of the land and only gives a part of the profit, and is struck down dead by God when confronted by a righteous man. We have that power, as long as we're with Him. With the right covering the right source, we're immortal. And science proves this. In order for something to be considered law, it has to happen at least 3 times with the same constants, variables, and dependence. Elijah in the Old Testament ascended to heaven, was seen with a chariot of fire in the sky. He kept his carnal body for eternity. Enoch walked with God in the Old Testament, and when he died, his body ascended to heaven, keeping his carnal body for eternity. Then this immaculate conception brings forth this child, known to be our God. Gets his entire life recorded like the experiment he was, proving to us that we could live forever, body, soul, and spirit. Teaches us, and through the gospel, the ultimate, what the devil uses for bad, God will use for good, go spell. Dies on a cross, rises the 3rd day, roams the earth for about 40 days, and then ascends to heaven, keeping his carnal body for eternity, making it law, and showing you how to do it. Find your immortality. Find God. Find love, for love is the key. An old person, when they lose their spouse, usually die within 1 year. Why is that? Is their life source that of their love source as well? Probably. I think so. Love. Live for the source of love, for God is love. Which means I can stop and I can say, well, love created the heavens and the earth. Love saw what was out for him and put me on it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, basically, that's how it was. Be love. Love the source. Live for the love of the source. And live forever. It's a battle of our mind. In order to be completely positive, we have to know what it looks like. That's why Jesus came. I love you, America. I love you, world. Please wake up.